Welcome to the AI for Career Success podcast by Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. This is episode 165. I'm Fred.
And I'm Daphne.
Today we're looking at something a little different, maybe an unexpected tool for managing the pressure we're all feeling in our careers.
That's right. We're talking about comedy.
We are. This is all based on a really fascinating article from our producer, Curt Robbins. It's titled, How Stand-Up Comedy is Decoding Our AI Anxiety.
And that was published on LinkedIn just recently on January 4, 2026.
So why does this matter to you, our listener? A working professional trying to navigate all this change.
Well, I think the core idea is that comedians have sort of become our modern-day translators. They take these huge, frankly terrifying technological realities and they process them for us.
They make them safe.
Exactly. They run it through this lens of absurdity so we can actually laugh at the things that are causing us so much stress.
Okay, let's get into that. The article points out that tech humor, it used to be a really fringe thing, for audiences in Silicon Valley or Seattle.
Oh, absolutely. Super niche. But that's just completely gone now in 2026.
So what happened? What was the big shift?
Well, technology stopped being a niche. It's that simple. It doesn't matter what your job is anymore.
Right.
You could be a marketer, a lawyer, a nurse. You're using AI tools like ChatGPT or Gemini every single day.
It's just part of the workflow now.
It is. So this shared experience created a whole new space for comedy, a whole new category that's just mining our anxiety about algorithms, AI, and let's be honest, tech bro hubris.
I think that hubris part is key. The jokes aren't just about slow Wi-Fi anymore.
No.
It's this deeper collective anxiety. We're talking about the loss of privacy, the fear of a dystopian AI future, and, the sheer weirdness of billionaires launching cars into space while we're all just trying to make it through the week.
The comedians are just holding up a mirror to that shared reality. If you have a job today, you have AI anxiety. It's unavoidable.
So let's talk about some of the specific people the article mentions, because they all seem to tackle this from a different angle.
Right. Let's start with the one they call the digital philosopher.
Burnham.
You have to start with Burnham. His special insight was, well, it was the definitive routine about living online.
It felt like a cultural moment, not just a comedy special.
It was. And what makes him so relevant to our audience is that he captures this duality of digital life, this desperate need for connection, but also the deep, deep isolation that comes with it.
And he's been at it for a while. He was one of those early YouTube stars back in 2006.
He was. So he's seen the entire thing change from the inside. He really gets it. But, okay, if Burnham is the existential dread, who's talking about the day-to-day workplace absurdity?
Right, the 4 billion OPM Zoom call dread.
Exactly. That's where you get someone like Alexis Gay. She actually worked in tech at Patreon.
Yes. So she has the insider credentials.
She does. And her special, Unprofessional, and her viral sketches, they just perfectly satirize things like hustle porn and all the jargon we're drowning in. She gets the anxiety of the knowledge worker who's just trying to sound competent.
That feels very, very specific and very real. Does that authenticity, the fact that someone actually worked in tech, does that matter?
I think it does. It adds weight. Look at Don McMillan. He's called the engineer comedian.
He was a chip designer, right, for AT&T Bell Labs.
Yeah, legit engineer. So when he does his routine, Life After Death by PowerPoint, he is speaking directly to every IT person, every engineer who's ever had to sit through a terrible corporate presentation. His background makes the satire so much sharper.
So we've got the philosophers and the corporate insiders. What about the people asking the tough ethical questions? The ones who are actually a bit scared of the tech?
That's a crucial angle. And for that, you have someone like Jenna Friedman. She's very skeptical of AI.
Right. She has that TED Talk style set, the jokes AI won't tell.
Exactly. And she explores those uncomfortable edges where algorithms just fail to understand context or empathy. She's asking what happens when that black box denies your loan or, makes a decision about your job.
The algorithm doesn't care.
The algorithm doesn't care. And she finds the terrifying humor in that.
And then you have people who are almost blending journalism and comedy.
I like Hasan Minhaj.
Yeah.
He dives really deep into data privacy, content moderation, all the messy stuff the big tech companies don't want us to look at too closely.
And we can't forget Ronnie Chang.
Oh, never. His total exasperation with just the aggressive stupidity you see online and our addiction to instant gratification.
That really resonates. It's that love-hate thing we all have with our digital tools.
And then you have the ones who are actually bringing the AI on stage with them.
Like Adam Ray.
Yeah, he uses ChatGPT right in his act. He'll have it roast the audience or try to rewrite a joke, and it shows you the hilarious and really glitchy limitations of it all. It's a way of engaging with the fear instead of just running from it.
So when you connect all these pieces, the dread, the corporate satire, the ethical questions, it really does feel like comedy is providing this necessary emotional release valve.
It absolutely is, and that's the perfect way to think about what's coming next, because this anxiety, it's only speeding up.
Let's take a brief break for a special message from our producer, Curt Robbins.
Hi, this is Curt Robbins. First, thanks for listening. I truly appreciate your support. I want to let you know that I'm currently accepting new clients. My rates are affordable, and I have more than 25 years of experience working for enterprise companies like Microsoft, Northrop Grumman, Oracle, PNC Bank, FedEx, USAA, and Wells Fargo, among many others. If you want to improve your IT documentation and communications, hire me. I deliver fast, know how to use AI to improve efficiency and accuracy, and love going the extra mile to satisfy my clients. Thank you for subscribing and listening. Back to you, Daphne and Fred.
Welcome back to the AI for Career Success podcast.
Okay, so before the break, we were talking about how comedians are dealing with this incredible speed of change. A few years ago, AI jokes were basically science fiction.
Right. Fringe stuff.
And today, generative AI isn't just a topic for jokes. It feels like it's threatening the jobs of the comedians themselves.
And this is where it gets really real for our audience. We're not talking about some hypothetical robot on a factory floor anymore.
Not at all. We are talking about concrete examples that impact knowledge workers right now.
Yeah.
Generative AI is writing college papers. It's winning art competitions.
And it's writing hit songs. The article mentions that song from late 2025, Walk My Walk, by that fake AI artist, Breaking Rust.
And it hit #1 on a Billboard chart. #1.
That is a whole different level of anxiety. If a machine can write a chart-topping song, what does that mean for any creative professional?
It has just sent this wave of a mix of dread and this weird pragmatism through so many industries. Comedians are genuinely wondering if an AI will be able to write and deliver a joke that's statistically good enough to replace them.
And for the professional audience, the fear is maybe even more subtle, is this idea of algorithmic management.
Yes.
The anxiety that your next promotion, or whether you keep your job, could be decided by a black box AI that you can't understand and you certainly can't appeal to.
That specific fear is what makes all this comedy so resonant. The best comics, they're not just making fun of the software, they're exploring our reaction to it.
The panic.
The panic.
Yeah.
The weirdness of talking to a chatbot that's pretending to have empathy. The bizarre idea of outsourcing your own human creativity, the very thing that defines your career, to an algorithm.
So let's bring this back to the core argument of the article. Why do we, as professionals, actually need these jokes right now?
We need them because they're a counter-narrative. They're a sanity check against all the hype.
A hype is everywhere. You hear an AI CEO talk, and it's all these grand...
Utopian platitudes, that's what the article calls it. Curing cancer, ending poverty, creating universal high income.
It all sounds great.
It does. But the comedians are the ones who are pointing out what the article calls the dystopian fine print. They're the skeptics we need.
And that perspective, it helps us manage the change. When your job feels overwhelming, when the future feels way too automated, and the fear of being replaced is real.
Laughter is the most rational human response you can have. It's a psychological survival tool for a pretty chaotic professional world.
So there's actually a practical application here. If you can use this humor to name the anxiety in your own workplace.
Right. Is it the hustle culture? Is it the fear of algorithmic management? If you can name it, you can start to deal with it. Humor is like the first step to regaining a little bit of control.
So these comics are giving us a shared language to talk about the things we're most afraid of losing. Our jobs, our privacy, our creativity.
Exactly. That's the decoding process right there.
So before we wrap up, here's a final thought for you to consider. Think about which technological anxiety you struggle with the most in your own career. Is it the black box decisions? The fear of being replaced? And then just try to imagine how a comedian might capture that exact feeling in a single joke. That little bit of self-reflection, that's where the real decoding starts, and maybe where the anxiety starts to get a little smaller.
That's a powerful final thought.
Thank you for listening to the AI for Career Success podcast from Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Remember, like, subscribe, comment, and share. We'll see you next time.